Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We beg to all of you, especially to our beloved
Madam Adiba,
I am Siti Syakura Rashida and this is my partner.
Nurul Fazal Mazlan.
We are from group
7 of
6. Today we are going to share something which you should do. What is it, Fatia?
Boys and girls should be in separate class.
Yes. Single gender education is not something new nowadays. Do you know that single gender education had been predominant before the 19th century and it is common among the people? What do you think about it? Do you agree with single gender education or not? Well, perhaps you should, because today we are going to talk about the 5 benefits of single gender education. Single gender education or single sex education is the practice of conducting education which separate males and female students in a classroom or buildings or schools, particularly in secondary education or higher education. Understanding the advantages of single gender education help us to understand why we should support this practice in our country as the main deliverance of education. First of all, single gender education helps teachers to have extra time with topics that boys and girls may struggle with. A research was conducted and found that boys and girls may have different way in seeing and hearing. Therefore, it is believed that boys explain the world as moving objects through the space, and their eyes are drawn into cooler colors such as silver, blue, black, gray, and brown. Yeah. So, as we can see that many boys like to draw moving objects. For instance, plants, helicopters, and cars with darker colors. Whereas females' eyes are drawn to texture and warmer colors. For example, red, orange, yellow, and orange. Yeah. Whereby they visual things more details, and additionally, girls can hear higher frequencies than boys, which means that they are more sensitive to sounds than boys do. Secondly, single gender educations help the students to concentrate on their studies and remove distraction of co-educational social pressure. Therefore, students focus more on their studies rather than worrying about how they look and what they wear in front of the opposite gender. Single-sex education enhances student focus, and when teachers use technique geared to the genders of their students. Girls who learn in all-girl environment are believed to be more comfortable in participating in questioning and in sharing their opinions in class. Other than that, they are more likely to explore non-traditional subjects such as maths, science, and technology. It is undeniable that many female students succeed in their studies and increasingly dominating job requirement in many places. Some even hold higher position in some important field of working. Additionally, boys in single single-gender classrooms are more successful and more likely to pursue a wide range of interests and activities. Single-gender education has long existed in many private schools. It is a relatively new option for public schools in Malaysia. In fact, many single-gender educations in Malaysia qualified as high-performing schools. For example, Tunku Kursia College, TKC, Sekolah Seri Putri, SSP, and Sekolah Tunku Fatimah, STF for girls' school, and Sekolah Datuk Abdul Razak, SDAR, Sekolah Temenggung Abdul Rahman, STAR, and Malay College Kuala Kangsar for boys. Some parents do not want their children to be in mixed gender classroom because it may be a distraction for the opposite gender. Next, teachers treat boys and girls differently, which can lead to students receiving disproportionate share of attention in co-educational classrooms. However, in single-gender education, boys and girls receive balanced attention from the teachers. As we know, the behavior of girls and boys are different, so they tend to perceive information differently. Inner research shows that students perform better with teachers in similar gender. In that experiment, a male teacher is assigned to teach in boys' classrooms. He constantly moving and speaking in a loud voice and even at the point of shouting. While in other class, a female teacher is assigned to teach in girls' classroom. She is in still condition and use calm tone. This differentiation stems from public education ideology that young males strive for competition and confrontation, while young females require a more nurturing and cooperative learning environment.
Okay, sorry for the interrupt. Based on Dr. Leonard Sachs, the founder and the director of the National Associate for Single Gender Education, he stated that when boys are exposed to threat and confrontation, their senses sharpen and they feel thrill. It's a good thing. Meanwhile, if girls are exposed to such a stimuli, they feel dizzy and yucky. Okay, just now we just have listened to the 3 benefits of single gender education by Shakura. So let me proceed to the last 2 benefits. Okay, the 4th is to avoid harmful activities among the students. As we know, boys and girls are easily attracted to each other. There are psychological differences among them that affects their way of talking, communicating, and even their behavior. Okay, in single gender education, it's reduced the affections between these 2 genders, which will then reduce the social problems that happen at a young age. Plus, teachers can teach risk subject more details and more proper to the students when they are separate in class. So it is better to separate in class because you will get the more details information. Okay. Normally, I said normally, girls learn faster than boys. So if the boys keep asking the teachers to repeat the lesson over again and again, so it will be a bored lesson for the girls. So it is best for them to separate class. Okay, and last point is, in single gender education, students are likely to stay away from risky behavior such as smoking, drugs, clubbing, and so on. Okay, and last but not least, the final benefits of learning in single gender education is to experience more new things and to pull out their talents. Okay, as you can see, if the absence of boys can empower the girls to be more confident in their studies. And conversely, the boys, they will feel more comfortable if the girls are not watching them in class. Okay, last but not least, the last point of the benefits of learning in single gender education is the students will experience more new things and pull out their talents. The absence of boys can empower the girls, where they will feel more confidence and more comfortable. So goes to the boys, they will feel more confidence when the girls are not watching them, because they're always worried the girls' opinion on them. So, and next is, usually, as you can see, when sport lessons, the girls will feel embarrassed to play the activities because the boys are watching. They will feel insecure and afraid to move freely and to do the activities. So it will lead to their talents to be hidden and can't be developed. It will be such ways. In single gender education also, students can voice out their thoughts and ideas without the feels of hesitate or shy. And they will have freedoms to give their ideas without to impress the opposite gender. They will do it for the sake of themselves. And girls will be more outspoken when the boys are not around to teach them. In conclusion, there are many benefits of learning in single gender education, like what we have just said just now. The first is teachers can spend extra time with the students who have difficulties in topics. Second, students can more focus and concentrate in their studies. And the third, students will receive balanced attention from their teachers. And the fourth is to avoid misappropriate actions or activities among the students. And the last is to explore new things and to outshine their talents.
Do you know that education is vital for everyone, especially us? We are the Muslim. In fact, the first revelation of Quran revealed to our Prophet Muhammad SAW was knowledge.
Yes. So it is clear that Islam emphasizes on knowledge. In single gender education, we can gain knowledge and at the same time be free and comfortable in gaining knowledge. So let's practice single gender education.
Yeah, let's practice it.